Welcome everybody. Thanks for taking your time to look into this. I'm playing a bit with instruments in Xcode 4 and ran into an issue which I'd really like to discuss with you guys. So I've got a very simple project here. Let's clean it just to start fresh. And it's really a very basic application. It's not a real world thing I'm working on. I've specifically created this to illustrate the issue I ran into and to kind of put some fire to the discussion. So what this application does, it's got two buttons and a UI image view. When you hit this first button here, it allocs and inits 1000 UI image objects, and then it puts them into an NS mutable array. And the second button here just takes the very first object in that array at index 0 and displays it in the UI image view, just to sort of reconfirm that the objects really ended up being in the array. So switching to the view controller interface, there's really no magic in here. We've got the mutable array of image objects, and we've got the image view, and then we've got two actions here. The one that triggers the creation and puts those UI image objects into the array, and the second one that shows the object at index 0 inside the UI image view. Switching to the implementation, it all comes down to just one single method, and that has a for loop. It iterates 1000 times, and in each iteration it allocs and inits a temporary UI image and stores it in this underscore image pointer. In the next line, we add that image to the array, to the NS mutable array. And in a real-world application, in that next line here, we would have to release the temporarily created underscore image object. The reason being, well, number one, we alloced and init, so it's our responsibility to get rid of it. Number two, when adding it to the NS mutable array, it gets retained. So we got to balance retain counts here. And on purpose, I've not done that. So I've created a huge leak, so to speak. Let's fire this up and see what instruments tells us. So because I'm recording here, I've got to kind of work with very little screen real estate, so everything is kind of stuffed together. So the app came up. We've got the allocations and leaks instrument here. We see some initial allocation going on here, views and view controllers, nothing we've done, all standard stuff. And then we are fine. We are not allocating anything, and we're not leaking anything. And we've set the automatic snapshotting to do a snapshot every 10 seconds. And while the app runs and we do nothing really happens. It's all like we expect it to be. So switching to the simulator here, and now I'm going to hit this button, effectively allocating and creating 1000 UI image objects. And we see those allocations are indicated in instruments. Leaks does another snapshot in like 5 seconds. And what do we see? Well, nothing. Which is interesting because we actually have a huge leak here. Let's add 1000 additional images and see what happens. So we add those. Yep, we can clearly see alloced and added to our heap. And down here, no leak. We can create manual snapshots, no leak. Add 1000 more. Effectively, we've now got 3000 objects. Doing another snapshot, still no leak. So what's going on here? Interestingly enough, if we switch back to Xcode and ran the analyze command, Xcode clearly identifies that leak. It says, well, the method returns an object with a retain count of 1, which we increase here, and we do not balance that retained by a manual release. So Xcode does see our leak, while Instruments does not. So that's interesting. I'm looking forward to your feedback. You can probably catch me wherever you found the link to this video, and I guess you didn't search for it on YouTube. So you can respond over there or catch me on Twitter. I'm at 24Z at Twitter, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.